Hello, party people. Are we live? I believe that we are. Hello, hello. Earth. All right, looks like we're live, party people. Excellent. Let me just let everybody know to. Looks like we're live, party people. Oh, I got to turn on my thing. Refresh your page. All right, working out the kinks here. First day for me doing the live YouTube channel, but it looks like we're on. Looks like we're good. Hello, everybody. My name is Sean McLaughlin, Chicago Sean on Twitter. Glad you're here. This is our daily Q&A session. We'll be hanging out for an hour. If you have any questions about trade ideas, this is a great place to get them answered. I will be joined by several members of my team in the chat window. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them into your chat window there on the YouTube, on the old YouTube. And myself and Michael, and I think there's a couple other people there that will either answer your question in the chat or we will cover it here live on the screen. So right now we got a blank slate. I got no questions coming in yet. So we'll kind of look around the market, see what's going on. One stock that had my eye that I tweeted about this morning is Beyond. I think Beyond feels to me, got a daily chart right here, feels to me this thing wants to make another pop higher. It kind of, we had that big run at the beginning of the year, then it consolidated for a while, and people have kind of stopped talking about it a little bit, which is exactly what you want to see. You want to see all the volume cool off, which we have here. I feel like the social chatter about Beyond has cooled off quite a bit, but now, the last few days, this week in particular, starting to pop its head up, starting to get a little interest. I don't know. I'm biased. I've got a long position in this stock via options, so I'm definitely biased, and I'm talking my book. But I don't know. Feels like it's ready to make another run. All right, I see some comments that the video sounds good. Awesome. Must be my hot mic, my hot blue microphone. Maybe, I don't know. So if anybody has any questions about trade ideas, about the software, throw them at me. If you want to talk about markets, if you're looking at some stocks, you want some opinions on it, I'm happy to offer you my opinions. Just be aware that they are opinions only. I am not your financial advisor. I'll cycle through a lot of my open positions here in my window here, my Brokerage Plus window. These are all swing trades that I'm currently holding. These are paper trades. I will be the first to tell you that. This is I'm trying out the new simulation mode that's available in Trade Ideas. This is a great tool for people to try out what it's like to trade with Brokerage Plus, as well as how to try out auto trading and how to try out one-click trading within Trade Ideas. So we'll just kind of cycle through all my open positions right here and see how we look, see if we need to adjust any stops. I'll just cycle down. This stop looks pretty good for now. Pretty good. I think I adjusted a lot of these stops yesterday, so nothing probably not much to move, but I'll move this one up. This stock's moving pretty well. Check this out. For those of you who haven't seen this feature yet, you can see my stop loss order showing right here in my daily chart. If I grab this line and drag it up, not only am I moving my stop loss order up, but check out the P&L that you see. That shows 152 right now in green right here. Well, now it's 172. As I move this stop loss level, the chart shows me what my P&L will be if my stop loss gets hit. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm just going to drag it right here. Now my stop loss is in place, and if my stop loss gets hit, I'll walk away with a $131 profit, give or take, right? There's always slippage. Always got to worry about slippage. But that's pretty cool. So let's continue on down here. I'm at QTS. Let's go to my next position. J. Looks good. My stop losses. Oh, I'm going to drag this one up a little bit. If my stop loss gets hit on this one, I'll be losing $136. Let's at least move it up to break even. That blue line over here, that's where I entered this trade. So since I've had a good run in this, let's at least move it up to break even. Okay, I've had a good run. Don't want to give away too many open profits. So move that stop up. Great. And while I mentioned this is the simulator, I want you to know that this will work exactly the same if this was live trading. Okay. I don't have to log into my Interactive Brokers account to move my stop losses or to manage my positions. In fact, I wouldn't even have to look at it at all during the day. It'll have to be running in the background, but it'll be minimized on my screen. I don't even have to look at it. I'll just use my Brokerage Plus window right here and look at my charts and eyeball my stops and adjust my stops as needed. It's a very simple tool, very slick tool. I think everyone will find great benefit in it. So let me cycle through the rest of my open positions. I got about 20 here. This one's not looking so good, but we'll stick with the stop we got for now. Yeah. By the way, I'm just doing this because I'm not getting any questions. So if anybody has any questions, come on in. Come on in. What I probably will do here is, all the rest of these can stay. These stop loss levels can stay. I got how many more positions I have here? That's it. These last three have closed today. Well, one thing I'll a very valid question just came into the questions panel. How do I learn to be as handsome as you? Well, there's a reason why you're not seeing my face on this screen. Let's just leave it at that. All right, I've got a face for radio. All right. So one of the things that people often ask me about is how I use Holly for swing trading. I don't intraday trade. I just, I don't have the mental bandwidth for it. I used to day trade for a long time early in my career, but nope, not interested in day trading anymore. But that's just me. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just, I'm busy throughout the day. I can't micromanage my positions. So swing trading is more my speed. And I have found that using Holly as my de facto trading assistant to help me get into great positions works extremely well. So I'm going to change my layout here. I'm going to go to in my channel bar. I've got a custom layout right here called AI Swings. This is the layout that I've built. And this is what I use when I start scanning the market for trades. And what I do is I've got a little AI window here. These are all the AI trades that have happened today. Okay, these are every trade that Holly get into across all three AI channels. You'll notice on the left I got the Holly AI channel, Holly 2.0, Holly Neo. So every trade in all three of these channels will show up right here in this window. And what I do, I typically do this towards the end of the day, but we could do it right now. It's all good. Typically, I rank all these stocks in order of price. That's just my preference. So I could sort out the cheap stocks. I don't like to trade stocks below $10 a share. That's just, I just don't like trading those kinds of stocks. So I'll start with this VIV. Now, last time I walked people through this, I had some chuckles from some of my teammates here about how quickly I make decisions entering in the swing trades. And I feel like I should maybe explain that a little bit. Because you'll notice, and as I go through this and enter new positions, I don't spend a whole lot of time analyzing the trade. I just get in. And that comes very strongly to the fact that I am primarily an options trader. And as an options trader, I'm all about capturing edge. And I'm all about exercising that edge as often as possible. Because the more times I can execute against an edge, the more likely I am to achieve that edge over time. And so I take that mindset into swing trading, and I'm trusting that Holly, the AI, is good at finding great candidates. Okay? There's a catalyst that Holly has identified that is in play that is potentially moving a stock higher. Okay? That catalyst has the potential to move a stock for several days or several weeks if I'm lucky. So having that trust and trusting in Holly to find me good stocks, all my job is to do is just cycle through the charts and find a chart on a longer time frame, like a weekly and monthly time frame, that has a upward trend. I should say that I prefer to swing trade from the long side. So I'm looking for stocks that have some positive momentum over the longer term, and I'm just trying to jump aboard that trend, trusting that Holly has identified a catalyst that could work for me. Does every trade work out? Of course not. Of course not. But my winning trades tend to vastly outperform my losing trades. And as a result, the net result is a win. Okay? So I take my options trading mentality of trying to get into as many instances or occurrences of an edge as possible, because I know that the more of those edge trades I could put on, the more likely I am to achieve the results, the long-term results I'm looking for. And so let's cycle through these here. So I'm looking at these all these trades that Holly's gotten into today. We'll start with VIV. And I should point out that these charts across the top are from left to right. I have a monthly chart, a weekly chart, a daily chart, and an intraday chart. At this phase here, all I'm really paying attention to is these two charts on the left, the monthly chart and the weekly chart. I'm looking, widening the lens, taking the 10,000 foot view of the overall broader trend of the stock. And in this case, looking at the monthly and weekly charts, I don't see anything I want to get involved in. This monthly chart, the stock's been mired in a sideways range for 2 years. So I'm going to skip it. I'm going to move on to the next stock, MTM. While the weekly chart looks pretty good, I don't know. I just don't like this. Okay. I don't like this. And also I should point out, another thing I pay attention to is in this single stock window, I pay attention to these 2 points here very, very closely. And again, this is just my preference. I'm not saying there's any magic in these numbers, but my preference is I want a stock to have a market cap of at least 500 million, which this checks the box there. And I want an average daily volume of at least 100,000 shares. The more, the better. Okay, so this would check that box. So if I was interested in trading the stock, I would not feel any restrictions in doing so, but I just don't like that chart, so I'm going to move on. Let's go up to, let's see, where are we? CVM, nope, skip. Nova, okay, here's a chart that I like. Now, there's a lot of people who might be looking at this weekly and daily chart and say, I can't buy this thing here. It's up 80% since the beginning of the year. Well, yeah, that's true. But for a stock to go up 1,000%, it's got to go up 80% first, right? And I have stop losses in place. That's what stop losses are for. If I'm wrong, it's going to take me out. And I have an algo, and I'll show you right now as I'll get into the trade. I have some one-click order entry set up for me so that my trades will place my stop at approximately 5% away from the current market price, and it will size my position accordingly such that I will not risk more than $200 of my equity per trade. So I don't have to do the math. I don't have to calculate my share size. I don't have to calculate my stop loss level. Brokerage Plus does it for me. It's pretty sweet. So check this out. In any one of these charts, I could just drag my mouse in here. I could right click, Trade Nova, hit buy using swing trade buys. This is one of my algos I have set up. I just click it and whammo. I just got into the trade and you can see my stop loss order reflected on the chart. And you can see if my stop were to get hit, I will lose approximately $201. That's according to the risk that I want to have in my trades. Pretty easy, right? And just to confirm that I got into the trade, if I go to my Brokerage Plus window, I could go to the Executions tab, and you'll see right here at the top, Nova. This is the stock I just got in. I bought 222 shares. My entry price was $17.96. And that's the time stamp right there. It's I'm in the mountain time zone, so don't be thrown if my time zone doesn't match up with yours. I'm in Colorado. It's currently 10:14 a.m. where I live. These 3 cells here that you see here, these are trades that I got stopped out of today. And you can see on the daily charts, these are stocks I was long, and sure enough, this thing gapped lower. I got a terrible fill. That's what happens because the thing screamed higher. Let's see, INMD, same situation. Stock kind of sold off this morning, and I got my stop loss got executed there. SVNMK, let's see what happened. Gapped lower, traded lower throughout the morning, and I got stopped out. So those are these previous sells here. These were just stop losses that I had working, and they got filled. All right, so I just entered Nova. Let's move on. Let's keep cycling through it. XPER, I don't like the chart. This monthly chart, this weekly chart, they're in downtrends. That's not a bullish chart I want to play. Let's see, EGHT, how does that look? Wishy-washy. I'm going to pass. Monthly chart is okay. Weekly chart, no thanks. PD, no. COLL. See what this looks like. Okay. Monthly chart, it's kind of popping up towards the end of the upper range. Weekly chart had a pretty significant breakout in recent weeks or in the last couple of months. Okay. The volume looks good. Market cap looks good. All right, let's buy it. Go ahead. Right click. Uh-oh, my computer's hanging. Right click, buy. Boom. I'm in the trade. Let's move on. See, I'm showing you how quick and easy this can be. I don't need to overthink these trades. And with just a couple of clicks, I'm in. This stock, no good. DAO, no good. Actually, no, that does look pretty good. The volume is average daily volume is a little skinny, but it's above 100,000. So, boy, it's just barely meeting my minimums, right? I like a minimum 500,000 market cap. But hey, let's do it. Let's buy it. Why not? Let's go to the JKS. This chart, nah, I don't like that monthly chart so much. The weekly chart looks pretty good, but the monthly chart, nah. Work, nope, no thank you. Slack, I love the product. We use it at Trade Ideas. All of the employees here at Trade Ideas are on Slack all day long. Fantastic tool. I'm not buying the stock here. Let's see, this stock, no good. Noah's no good. By the way, I see some questions that came in the panel. I will get to you guys. I'm not ignoring you. I just want to finish going through these stocks here, and then I'll address what I see in the questions panel. So bear with me. I'm hoping somebody somewhere is finding some value in this exercise. Charles Schwab. I'll wait on Charles Schwab. It's, not bad, but not good. Okay, here's a good one. Love this monthly chart. Love this weekly chart, daily chart, and intraday chart, all lining up. All right, this looks good. Let's buy it. Trade, buy using swing trade buys. Boom, I'm in the trade. And I should maybe repeat something or revisit something that I mentioned earlier about how I make these decisions very quickly. As I mentioned before, I have some trust in Holly. I know that she's finding catalysts that she has a reason to get into these trades, so I'm trusting her. She's doing a good job. So that coupled with the charts, I just want to confirm that the stock is in a pretty good, broader trend, and that's good. And the key here, the key to making the secret sauce and making this all work is that I'm risking a very little amount of money. Okay. Now, again, this is a simulated trading account, so it's all fake anyway, right? But I'm trading it with the mindset that I have a $20,000 account and I'm only willing to risk 1% of my capital on any one trade. So I'm risking no more than $200 per trade. That's a level that I'm comfortable with. I think 1%, risking 1% per trade is a reasonable amount. And so that's another reason why I could comfortably get into these trades without overthinking them, because I know that if any one of them goes sideways on me, it's not going to hurt me too bad. Okay, Citigroup. Boy, hate the company, but love this stock pattern. I'm buying it. Okay, I'm in. All right, 2 more and then we'll move on. STT, how does this chart look? My computer seems to be slowing down significantly, so I apologize. And D, how are we looking? Oh, D looks pretty good. Dominion Energy. Okay, last one, and I'm getting into this. Let's buy it. And we're in. Okay. That's it, folks. That's how I enter swing trades every day. And the process would be, there would be no difference if I was trading this with a live account. If my trading account was connected to Interactive Brokers and I was trading a live account, the steps in the process would be exactly the same. That's the beauty of the simulator, is that you can practice. It's a real live practice, right? You're doing exactly how you'll do it in real life. All right, so let me start tackling some of these questions over here. All right. See a question from Phil that came in. So I got an account with Interactive Brokers. I buy Brokerage Plus and Premium account at TI for automated trading setup and would be done and ready to begin. Phil, I don't know if I read that question properly. Yes, if you want to auto trade Holly, okay, you will need both a premium subscription to Trade Ideas, and you'd also have to buy the Brokerage Plus license, which is a one-time fee that gives you lifetime access to auto trading Holly. You only need that Brokerage Plus license if you intend to auto trade Holly. You don't have to auto trade Holly. You can manually trade it. Okay. If you want to just auto trade your own strategies, then a simple an active premium subscription will get you everything you need. Okay, I see a question from Alpha Intelligence. Hi, Sean. I know we can now place orders from the chart. Can you show? Alpha Intelligence, that is a good question. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. You continue on to say, instead of 5%, can I manually set the stop where I want? Yes. So let me show you something that I did with my strategies. Let me go to my strategies. So remember I was doing one-click order entry, right? Or like I'm right-clicking in a chart and I choose trade and then buy. Now, this works because I've set up this strategy with some parameters. And to see those parameters, if I go to my strategies window here in Brokerage Plus, here's my swing trades buy strategy right here. If I right-click here and choose edit trading strategy, this is where I set my stop loss level. So you notice these tabs across the top. If I go to risk management, you'll see I've got a stop loss set at a percentage, and it's right there as 5%. I could change that to 4%, 3%, 2%, or even higher, right? I could change it to anything I want. For me, I just arbitrarily picked 5%. For me as a swing trader, a 5% pullback seems like a reasonable stop loss level. I did not extensively back test that number to arrive at that. It's just a level that I'm comfortable with. So I hope that answers that question, Mr. Alpha Intelligence. You also say, I want to set a max risk to be the same on each trade. So yeah, great question. So if the guy's asking, I want to be able to risk the same dollar amount, right? Like to my account. Like let's say I got a $200,000 account. I don't want to risk more than $200, whatever the number is. Let's say you only want to risk $100 per trade. Okay. Obviously some stocks are $50 a share and some stocks are $10 a share, and a 5% move in a $100 stock looks a lot different than a 5% move in a $10 stock. But how can you have risk parity across all of your trades? Well, here's how, and this is how I've done it. So in addition to having a stop loss set at 5%, as you see here on my screen, if I go one tab over to my order details, I also have the position sizing. Right here, I have it based on stop loss. And my risk value is 200. So this means that wherever the stock price is right now, coupled with my stop loss, which I've set at 5%, it's going to take that information and say, all right, if the stock pulls back 5%, what's the share size I need so that I only lose $200? All right. So the algo will do all that calculation for me. So I could just speedily and quickly get into trades. Hope that makes sense. See what other questions we have in here. All right, so you're asking about you want to have price targets to get you into the trade. So right now, so basically you're looking like for a stop limit to get you into a trade. So if the stock, so if we're looking at this D stock right here, and it's currently trading at 88.10, and you want to get into the stock if it trades up to say 89, that's what we would call a stop limit. Right now, I don't believe we have the functionality to do that. I'm pretty sure it's in the works. You would have to manually trade that. So you'd have to watch it, maybe set an alert, and if it gets to 89, then you would have to manually trade that. But I know a lot of people would like that, and I'm sure that functionality is coming. All right, I see a lot more people have joined us since I started. I think we've doubled our attendance. So welcome, everybody. If you have any questions, please throw them at me here in the questions panel, and we will try to answer them for you. All right, so let me make sure I'm reading this quickly. If I want to buy EL at 210.15, which it's already moved past that, but that's okay, and I want the stop to be 209.50, and I only want to risk 150, I want to draw the entry and stop line on the chart and have it based on the $150 of risk. So yeah, we can't do that yet. You would have to basically do it the way that I showed you, where you just have to kind of have a default percentage pullback that you would use, and then the algo can size your trades appropriately. But for you, like if you just want to draw a line on your chart, like there, right? And when it gets hit, you want it to execute at that line and then stop you out here. For example, this is your stop loss level. We don't have that capability yet, but no reason why we can't make that happen down the road. You're not the only person asking for that. But this is brand new functionality here, so we're still we're working out the kinks and adding new features as we go along. But yeah, not available just quite yet. But once it is available, it'll be pretty cool. By the way, if anyone could let me know, I'm looking at the YouTube live stream on my other computer, and it looks like my screen is blurry. Has anybody else seen a blurry screen? If so, let me know. Mm-hmm. Okay, people are seeing a blurry screen. All right, let me see if I could change some settings here. File settings. Wait. We're saying gear on the lower left. I don't see a gear on the lower left, Mike. Video. Looks like I can't make any changes there. Oh, you're talking about on my YouTube, but it looks like I'm not the only one that's having some issues. Okay, so on YouTube, I can go change my thing. So let's try that out. Ooh, that looks sexy. Now I'm at 1080 and it's nice, sharp, high definition. Okay. So sorry, folks. That was just a limitation on my YouTube channel on my side, but the broadcast that I'm sending out to everybody is working just fine. But for anybody, anyone wants to know if you're watching the YouTube stream, and of course you are because you're listening to me talk. If your screen looks blurry, if you hover your mouse over the bottom of the screen there, in the bottom right, the little gearbox will pop up. If you click on that gearbox, where it says quality, you can choose the different bit rate, and I just changed mine to 1080, and it works great. So you might want to do the same. Sorry about that. We're still working out the kinks over here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, like I said before, we have twice as many people watching now as we did when we started. So welcome, everybody. The questions panel is where you can ask me questions. I don't really have an itinerary here. Nothing planned to discuss. So I'm going to take my cues from you and whatever questions you have. So if there's something you want to see, let me know. Meanwhile, I'm on my pre-market channel, and none of this is updating now because the market's already open. But for those of you who don't know, pre-markets, you can find a lot of great stocks to trade based on stocks that are having a big gap at the open, like this SSTI gapped 34% higher today. It's pretty much gone sideways ever since. I don't know the news. Maybe that's a takeover play or something. Let's see, ENPH. This thing's definitely had some moves. Wow, so it gapped higher. Then if you got into the open, you had quite a pop. What's that, from 45 to 55? So that's a nice 20%-ish move. And if you held through that pullback, you're still looking pretty right now. I love it. I make it a best practice every day. I mean, I mentioned before that I'm not a day trader per se, but I do check out the pre-market channel every day before the market opens just to get a sense of how stocks are gapping both up and down and what stocks are gapping. If I start seeing a lot of big cap stocks having some significant gaps, that tells me that we're probably going to be in for a wild ride in the markets today. If I see a bunch of stocks gapping that are, penny stocks or, something that might have had earnings, it kind of seems like a one-off thing. That just tells me that, hey, that one stock might be in play, but there's my antenna doesn't need to be up for just a broad market move. Just, one of the little things that I use. Everyone uses pre-market data differently, but that's one way I interpret it. By the way, Andy, I see you hanging out with us today, and glad to see you around, buddy. I hope you're feeling well. I know you had a little discomfort recently. Good to see you're working. Good to see you're must be feeling better. All right, what else can I show you guys, folks? The floor is yours. Hit me with a question. What do you want to talk about? What's moving today? Let me pull up my default layout. Let's see some stocks that are moving. Let's open position. So this QTS. So all these stocks here at the top of my top list. These are stocks that are really breaking out on a daily time frame. So this QTS looks great. This Nova, man. This stock has gone from 10 to 18 bucks since the beginning of the year, or 12, 11. I guess that's 11-ish. 18 bucks since the beginning of the year. That's a great run. Square, oh boy. Our good friend Jack. He's making bank in Square. How's his other stock doing? How's Twitter doing? Hey, Twitter's looking good. I'm a biased shareholder in Twitter. I'm a holder of an enormous position of, wait for it, 3 shares. Yes, that's right. I own 3 shares of Twitter. Not only do I own 3 shares, it's spread across 2 different accounts. 2 of those shares are in my son's account. My 5-year-old son has a little Robinhood account, and he bought 2 shares of Twitter. And I have 1 share of Twitter in my IRA. Why? Really just for shits and giggles. Just because I want to keep track of it. Because I am, by the way, very long-term bullish on Twitter. This may sound counterintuitive to some of you, but I'm a momentum guy, and I'm waiting for Twitter to break some long-term support before I get in. And I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait it out. If I go to a monthly chart on Twitter, let's go here, time frame, monthly chart. I mean, the all-time highs were right up here, $75 soon after the IPO. For me, as a long-term investor, there's really no reason to get involved in this stock until it gets above 75. However, I would get interested if it broke across these 2018 levels here. So if we get up above, say, $50 a share, I will start to get more aggressive in Twitter as a long-term investor, not a swing trade, not a day trade. I would start building a long-term position, but that's just me. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do. Cool? You cool? All right, well, I'm just tap dancing over here, folks, waiting for questions to come on in. So throw them at me. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep looking around stocks. This Ping daily chart, man, that looks pretty good. This thing might be setting up for a run. T-Mobile US. Wow, that thing had quite a gap, and it's just going. We call that a gap and go, folks. Stock gapped up 10 or 11 or 12%. I'm not sure the math there, but let's just call it 10% plus. Gapped, and it has not looked back. I guess cell phones are the new hot thing again. Either that or people love that renegade CEO. Redfin. Redfin, is this that real estate corp? Is that real estate company? Let's see, what does it say here? Yeah, offices of real estate. I can look in the detail profile. Real estate, rental, and leasing. Yeah, Redfin. Okay. I'm in the market for a house, so I get my antenna up whenever I see anybody involved in real estate. Anybody wants to sell me anybody wants to offer me a sweetheart deal on a beautiful home in Boulder, Colorado, please let me know. I'm in the market. Speaking of, since I'm mentioning Boulder, Colorado, for anyone on this YouTube stream right now who's in the Colorado area, in the Denver/Boulder metro area, hit me on Twitter. My handle is @ChicagoSean. We do twice monthly meetups here in the Denver area every month. We get traders together. We all hang out, have some beers, shoot the shit about the markets. Good times. We get 15, 20, 25 people out every couple of weeks. Great way to network with other people. So if you're in the Colorado area, hit me up. My Twitter handle is @ChicagoSean. I know that's confusing. I'm in Colorado. My Twitter handle is ChicagoSean. Deal with it. Boy, guys, Andy, Steve, I know you're hanging out, and Mike, I know you're hanging out in the back channel. When we have dead air like this is when I wish I could just shoot the breeze with you guys. That's the one downside about this YouTube. But other than that, this is great. We're getting a lot more people. We're serving a lot more people this way, so this is awesome. All right. Also, I should point out to anybody who doesn't know, we have a live trading room that's live every day. And it is it's hosted by our good friend Barry Einerson. You can see I got a little in my channel bar here on the left. We got a channel here called Barry's Windows. You can see his face. Boy, what a handsome gentleman Barry is. But he's got a live trading room. If I click on his channel here, this will just show you these are the windows that he typically watches as he trades throughout the day. But if I scroll down even further in my channel bar and go down towards the bottom, let me find it. There it is, the last one, live trading chat room. If I click on that, that will launch a web browser where you can get access to the trading room. And Barry's great. Look, if you want to watch a real trader trading the markets with real money in real time, you can do that in the live trading room. Barry's great. He's not only do you watch him trade, but he's very educational. He's willing to share his tricks of the trade with anybody who asks. And he's also great at just kind of answering questions about the platform if you have any questions. So and that's open pretty much from the open, a little bit before the open each day. And I think he shuts it down about 30 minutes before the close. But so for most of the trading day, He's live. He's a machine. And he's a great guy. So I would encourage you to hang out. And I think we have about 600 or so people that log into that trading room every day. So there's a community there. So meet your fellow people. Sherry, I see a question. Futures or stocks? I think what you're asking is, does Trade Ideas have futures data? And the answer is no. Trade Ideas only has stocks data, equities data. Now we got some new data coming soon. I'll tease the small exchange. For anybody who doesn't know what the small exchange is, I'll type in the address here, the small exchange.com. Check it out. They will be launching soon, and they will be offering futures-like products for equities traders. They will trade just like stock, but they will be indexed against a variety of futures products. So futures traders might be very interested in these things because you'll be able to day trade them even if you have a small account. These products will not be subject to pattern day trade rule, which is great. So if you have an account less than $25,000 in it, you can day trade all you want. And they will be a fraction of the size of a typical futures contract. I forget how much margin it takes these days to hold a crude oil contract, but I think a single crude oil contract is something like $15,000 of margin you have to have in your account just to trade one crude oil contract. They will have a crude oil-like product that will only require approximately $150 of margin. Or maybe it's $1,500. It's like a tenth. Whatever it is, it's a tenth of the size. So much more efficient use of your capital. And we will be having their data on Trade Ideas once they go live. They're just waiting on regulator approval. And once that gets done, it's off to the races. So it should be pretty cool. Question came in. Hi, Sean. How is Moderate Holly AI doing today? Well, let's pull up the AI channel here. Let's go to Holly AI. Let's see how she's looking today. All right. Well, oh wait, this is the wrong thing. I don't want that window. This is what I want. That's aggressive. Let's go to moderate. So there you go. Holly looks like she's doing pretty well. Now this profit that you see here, this $1,700, $1,740. The reason why it's showing that much is because that's based on my position sizes. So for those of you who want to monkey around with this, in your TI menu bar at the top, you go to Tools and Options. And on the left-hand side, you'll see AI trade size. Click here, and you can see that I am sizing my positions such that I am willing to risk $200 per trade. So based on that, this P&L is being calculated as if I was risking $200 per trade. So on a day like today, wow, that is a fantastic result. I risked no more than $200 for any individual trade. And currently, if I had taken every one of these trades, which I have not taken any of them, but had I taken them, I'd be sitting on $1,700 of open profit right now. Pretty awesome. Let's dig into the trades and see what's driving this return. Let's see, I got an open trades window here. These are all the trades that are currently open. This is the closed trades window right here. Looks like we had a big winner here, or good sized winner here in this ticker CANF. Yeah, well, it's a cheap stock. Got in at $1.38. Thing ran up as high as $1.77, which in percentage terms, that's a really good move. Looks like we got out. Where did it get out? I don't show the prices in here. But that's one stock that's driving the performance. It looks like another big one here is DAO. AI got in here. You can see the blue line. And yeah, this thing tore from the open and is just continuing to rock. So those two stocks are probably mostly responsible for this performance. But hey, that's trading. That's how it works, guys. You're going to get into 20 trades, and on a typical day, out of 20 trades, 16 of them might end up being a wash, right? 16 of them will be, a mix of small winners and small losers that at the end of the day just kind of wash out. And if you got 4 that are medium to large winners, that's all it takes to have a great trading day. And this is today's a perfect example of that, right? If you look at the open profit column here, see where my mouse is, we got a bunch of, small wins, a couple small losers. Down here, we had a couple where my stop loss was hit. I lost $200. That's fine. But then I got a bunch of big winners. I got a $1,200 open winner, a $450 open winner. That's how it's done. All right. Can I also show us how to set up auto trading for Holly only? Sure. I can show you how to do that real quick. The way you do that is you bring up your Brokerage Plus window. Let's see. So let me go to my layout just because this is where I like to work from. And I got to bring up my Brokerage Plus window. If you don't have a Brokerage Plus window open on your screen, all you simply do is in your TI menu bar, go to New. This is where you open any new window. Hit New and hit Brokerage Plus, and that will launch your Brokerage Plus window. And now to activate Holly to auto trade for you, caveat, if you're live trading, you need a Brokerage Plus license to auto trade Holly. If you have not purchased that one-time fee, you're not paid that one-time fee for a Brokerage Plus license that gives you lifetime access to auto trading Holly, you will not be able to auto trade Holly. But assuming you did that, you would, in your Brokerage Plus window, you would go to your Holly AI tab. For me, it says off, right? See, it says Holly AI off. If I click on this, this is what I could do. You could see all of the available strategies that are open, and you can see the various segments. I got them. Holly Neo are the first 4 here, and I got Holly Grail right here from the Holly Grail segment. And then over here, I got Holly 2.0 strategies. So I can go in and a la carte activate any one strategy simply by clicking on it, like I've done here, and then right click and choose Enable Selected Strategy. And when I do that, where it says off here in this far left column, that will change to on. Now, I'm not going to turn it on because I don't feel like having Holly trades get mixed in with my swing trades. But that is how I would turn that on. If I want to turn them all on, I could simply just, select one at the bottom and hit my shift key and then click the one up top to select them all. And then just right click and hit enable 20 selected strategies. And once I do that, all these strategies will go live and they will start trading. But a little bit caveat before you go ahead and just enable those strategies, you're probably going to want to go in and set your parameters of how much you're willing to risk, share sizes, etc. So to do that, before you enable, I would recommend you go here, edit long trading strategies. You'll have to do this twice. You'll have to edit the long trading instructions. You'll also have to edit your short trading instructions because as you'll notice, some of these strategies are short-based strategies and some of these are long-based strategies. So if I want to edit my long trading strategies, I click on that. And this is important right here, AI trade mode. Your choices are conservative or moderate or best of. What this means is if it's set to moderate, what that means is Holly will get you into the trade and it's going to hold that trade all the way to the end of the day. And it's going to exit your position at the end of the day. It will honor the stop loss, but other than that, it's going to hold the trade until the end of the day. We call that moderate. Conservative means you're going to get into the trade when Holly gets in. You're also going to get out when she gets out. And she could get out for one of 5 reasons. She's got a time stop. She's got a profit target. She's got a stop loss. She's got a profit save algo. And she's got a reduced risk algo. Any one of those reasons it gets her out of the trade, it'll get you out of the trade as well. So you might only be in a trade for 10 minutes, right? Hey, that's the way it's designed. So you're going to want to decide whether you want to be moderate or conservative or best of, and that just kind of toggles to whichever one is performing best so far today. It'll use those trading instructions whether or not to get you in or out. Position sizing, also very important. I prefer based on stop loss. Others might prefer different, but your choices are fixed dollars, fixed shares, or based on stop loss. Fixed dollars basically just means I'm willing to invest $10,000 per trade or $1,000 per trade, okay? And it will buy you the appropriate amount of shares based on however much money $5,000 buys or however many $10,000 buys, right? So if I did fixed dollars and I put, I don't know, 20,000, then every trade will invest $20,000 worth of shares. If I do fixed shares, this is where I could just be like, okay, I only want 100 shares on every trade or 1,000, whatever your number is. You could set that. But I prefer based on stop loss, and I could set how much I'm willing to risk per trade. So if I put 200, that means based on where the stop loss is, my position will be sized such that if my stop gets hit, I will not lose more than $200. Not factoring in slippage, of course. And then you might want to set your entry orders here, or how the orders get entered. It defaults to limit, which is probably a smart way to do it. However, you risk missing something if it's fast moving away from you. But you could choose limit or market to get into the trade. Okay. So you don't want to go through and spend a little time with the trading instructions before you enable these strategies. So once you've got it the way you want, then again, just right click, enable 20 strategies. All right. All right. Do you need to do this every day? No, you do not need to do this every day. Once you've set these instructions, and you've saved them, you will not have to redo that every time, but you will have to turn them on every day. You will have to come in here every day and enable these strategies. Okay, that's an important thing. Quant, do that. I see your question about custom formulas. I'm not the guy to answer questions about custom formulas. I just, it'll take me 4 hours to do it. It's not my wheelhouse. I would encourage you to send an email to info@trade-ideas.com. info@trade-ideas.com. Explain what you're trying to do with the custom formula, and one of our custom formula experts will be happy to help you out there. And that's good info for anybody here who's listening. If at any time you have any questions outside of market hours or over the weekend or outside of when we're doing this live Q&A, you can always send emails to us. We're very responsive in email. Send it to info@trade-ideas.com. Mike just put that in the chat window there. That really is the best way outside of this Q&A. That's the best way to get questions answered. And it just allows us to make sure that question gets routed to the best person to answer that question for you. All right, folks, we're coming up to the top of the hour. We got about 7 minutes left. I'm happy to hang out for 7 more minutes. For any more questions that come through, let me know. Sweet. Your window links to the sound cha-ching. Is that something we can set up for any alert window? Yes, you can, and I'm glad you can hear that. To have audio alerts, you could set them up for alert windows or for any Holly AI strategy windows. So I've got an alert window right here, all-time highs, and I've got a cha-ching. You've probably heard it a few times. The way I set that up is in an alert window, I just right-click anywhere. I go to Configure. I'm sorry, that's not right. Back out. I go right-click. I go to Properties. And I choose Actions, and I got a little box here right next to Play Sound, and I just go through and click Setup Sound right here. And these are the basics: asterisk, beep, exclamation, stop. Those are the basics. I've got a cha-ching sound. I found that by going in here, sound name, select sound, and I worked through my files. I think I found this in the Mad Money folder. I believe it's this one right here, Cash Register. Okay, so that's how you could set those sounds. Let's see. Hope that's the one you were thinking of. So again, to get there, I'll back out. To get there, just right-click in any alert window or strategy window, AI strategy window. Go to Properties, choose Actions, and then you can work through the setup sound right here. Cool, cool. Jean-Francois, I see your question. You want to know if he could trade Holly manually while still using Holly's stops. That, my friend, is a very good question. And as of right now, the answer is no. If you were to place a trade manually to follow along with Holly, you would not be able to have it set to auto hit her stop. What you would have to do is manually set that stop loss order yourself, which is not that tricky, right? So let's go over to the AI channel. Let's go to Holly AI. And in fact, let's do it. I'll walk you through a trade. We'll do one live in my simulator, of course, but we'll do one here. So let's say she just got into this ticker AEGHT, and I want to buy this thing too. Okay. Well, all right. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to right click, trade. Actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. What I'm going to do here is go to my positions tab. Okay, so I've clicked on this ticker, right? It's fully loaded in my box down here. 8 shares, 222 market. I'm going to go ahead and hit buy. I'm now in the trade. Should be in the trade. Did that thing execute? Yes, okay, it executed. I think I might have just done it twice. Okay, so I got into it twice. There it is. Those are my 2 fills. So now I'm in the position. Now, if I want to place a stop loss order, let's go back to my positions tab. EGHT, where is it? Where are you? Here you are. Okay, so there's my position. If I want to get out of this thing or set a stop loss, I can right click, hit add stop order, and set my price. So let's set the price at, I don't know. Well, the AI exit. Well, you know, it doesn't show the AI exits up here now. I'd have to go back to the other screen where it shows what Holly exit is. Let's say her exit was at 20.50. I could set that price, hit add, and now I've got my stop loss there in place. You see it on my chart. Okay, so it's a little workaround. Not the best way, but it works. Now I want to get out of this position. I didn't really want to be in this trade. Let me show you an easy way to get out of trades. So here I am, EGHT. I got in. Oops. I got in the EGHT and now I want out, right? I've highlighted it. Check this out. Just hit this flatten button. Boom. Now I am out of the position. No longer shows up in my positions tab. If I go to the executions tab, you'll see there it is. I closed all 444 shares. Pretty easy. All I did was just hit this flatten button right up here in the top right. Jean-Francois, I hope I answered that question for you. Steve asks, does your computer need to be running for Automated Brokerage Plus trades? Yes, and this brings up an interesting topic. For auto trading to work, you have to be both logged in to your Interactive Brokers account. It can be running in the background, it can be minimized, but it has to be up and running. And you have to be logged into Trade Ideas. Okay? Now, if for some reason you disconnect from Trade Ideas and you've got open positions and you've got stop losses active in the market, those stop losses will still continue to execute to protect you. But you will not get into any new trades because you need to be logged into the platform. Now, that begs the obvious question. Well, what if I gotta go away? What if my computer goes to sleep while I'm out running an errand? Well, if you're concerned about that, if that's a real issue, a real worry for you, I would strongly encourage you to check out Amazon Web Services Virtual Windows Desktop. The Amazon Web Services Windows Virtual Desktop basically allows you to run Windows virtually in the cloud, and it's always on, and you could access it from anywhere. And you could download Trade Ideas to that Windows desktop in the cloud, and you could download Interactive Brokers, and you can have them running, and they will never turn off. And the cool thing about that is, if while you're on the go, you could log into your Amazon Web Services virtual desktop on your phone, on your iPhone, on your Samsung Galaxy phone, whatever you use, on your iPad, on a Windows machine, or on a Macintosh, on a MacBook, any machine you've got, you could log in your Amazon Web Services account and see your Windows desktop that's never turned off. It's pretty cool. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Mac user. It's a great solution for Mac users because we don't have a downloadable version for Mac. PM, I don't have a favorite Momo scanner. I'm not the right guy to ask for that because I'm not a day trader. You might want to talk to Andy about that. Andy's got a good Momo trader or a good Momo scan. But no, I don't have a favorite one I could recommend because I just don't do it. I'm a swing trader. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. Great questions that came in. And as a reminder, we're going to be doing this every trading day at noon Eastern. We'll have a different voice every time. We'll rotate through. I'm hosting today. Again, I'm Sean McLaughlin, Chicago Sean. Tomorrow, I believe we have Michael Noss will be manning the the show tomorrow, and I think Jamie Hodge will be doing it on Friday. And, we'll rotate throughout the week. So you'll get different voices, different perspectives. We all have our different strengths. We all certainly have our own weaknesses. I probably have the most weaknesses out of everybody. I'll be the first to admit that. So come on back. We'll see you every day, every trading day, noon Eastern. Make sure you bookmark this link so it's easy to find. All you got to do is just click it in your browser and you're ready to go. It's pretty sweet. Okay, everybody, I'm signing off. If you have any further questions, hit us an email, info@trade-ideas.com. Happy to continue helping you there. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.